It's that time of the year again. Welcome to my annual Stocks and Shares ISA comparison, and this year promises to be one of the most exciting years yet, and that is due to a few reasons, mainly because we're seeing more and more providers battling for market share with new entrants on the scene, but also some existing providers have made controversial changes, making themselves less competitive. Other providers have either slashed their fees or launched new features, making themselves more competitive. In prior years, the competition really hasn't been this steep, in my opinion. So therefore, I believe there's never been a better time for this in-depth comparison. A Stocks and Shares ISA remains the UK's premier tax-efficient account, allowing you to deposit up to £20,000 per tax year into one and shield your investment gains, dividends and interest from UK tax. And with capital gains and dividend allowances being shrinking in recent years, it's been increasingly important to make sure your investments are held within an ISA rather than a general investment account. Also, the game-changing multiple ISA rule introduced last year means that you can now split your £20,000 allowance across multiple Stocks and Shares ISA providers. It doesn't matter how many Stocks and Shares ISAs you deposit to, as long as you don't go over that total annual tax year deposit allowance. This flexibility allows you to capitalize on the strength of different platforms or try them out. For example, you may prefer to hold your ETFs on one platform, individual stocks on another platform, or as I say, perhaps you just want to try them out, find the best for you without having to commit your full 20k tax year allowance to that provider. Anyway, back to the point. When selecting your Stocks and Shares ISA platform or platforms for 2025-26, you're faced with more compelling options than ever before. This intense competition has benefited us as investors through innovation, constant lower fees, well, for the most part, lower fees, which is always a good thing, but it can make choosing the right platform challenging with so many competitive choices. So for this video, I'll go through some of the ones I believe are the most competitive, and for each one, I'll go through their complete fee structure, platform fees, trading costs, and any other hidden charges, the full range of investments available, so that's important because you obviously want to know what you can invest in on that platform to see if it's suitable for you, and also key features and functionality that enhance your investing experience. And then finally, Trustpilot review scores to get an insight into what other customers have actually experienced. However, unlike other comparison videos, I'm not just giving you my opinions, I'm providing you with the tools to make your own informed decision. You can get free access to my comprehensive comparison spreadsheet, link in the description, which includes many more platforms than I could ever cover in this one video. I'll keep this research tool updated throughout the year. So the point is, whenever you're watching this video, you can sign up for that free comparison sheet, access that, and it should give you a good overview of a range of different providers and allow you to compare them all in one place with ease. After reviewing the few top contenders in this video, I'll demonstrate how to use a spreadsheet to find the best platform for your specific needs and circumstances. Before diving in, there is some quick housekeeping to get out of the way. You'll find links to all the platforms mentioned in the description below, and whilst this video is not sponsored, I do have affiliate links or codes for a number of these platforms. These are clearly labeled as such, and what this means is you may receive a bonus or special offer by using that link, and I may also receive a small commission. The presence or absence of an affiliate link has not influenced my assessment of any of these providers, and when I'm providing that spreadsheet, it's simply just factual information displaying all the details. The final decision is up to you, but I just want to be fully transparent about these affiliate deals. If you use them, you can claim a special offer, but I will also receive a commission. Thank you. And the other important disclaimer to get out of the way is I'm not a financial advisor. When investing, your capital is at risk and individual circumstances do vary. If you're unsure about ISA rules or whether investing suits your situation, please conduct thorough research and consult a regulated financial advisor. Speaking of regulation, before diving into the platforms, I want to emphasize that all providers featured in this comparison are authorized and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority and covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. You can verify any financial provider's regulatory status by searching their name on the FCA register. With these essential safeguards established, let's examine some Stocks and Shares ISA options for 2025-26. Let's start with Vanguard, a provider that has been a popular choice for many UK investors for a long time now. People love the simple, no-frills approach from an established provider in the industry with over 46 years of experience. They've built their reputation on simplicity and low costs. However, recent changes have shifted their appeal. There was a significant change to their fee structure, which you may be aware of by now. They now charge a flat £4 per month on balances below £32,000, and then once you have an account value above £32,000, it goes back to that fee structure it was before of 0.15%, capped at £375 per year. The problem is, this new pricing model makes Vanguard considerably less attractive for new investors with small portfolios. A £10,000 portfolio now effectively faces a 0.48% account fee. And if you just started out, say you deposited £1,000 in your first year, that's a 4.8% account fee. That's quite a hefty amount of returns you're going to need just to cover the fees that Vanguard are charging. The dealing fees remained unchanged though. There are no dealing fees when using their once per day batch trading service and no charges for dividend reinvestment or setting up a regular investment. They do offer a live dealing service for £7.50 per trade, but I can't say I've ever heard of anyone using this service because if you're investing in ETFs or mutual funds, there isn't too much appeal of live trading, but it is there. It may be something you're interested in. Just be aware of that £7.50 per trade. Finally, foreign exchange fees don't apply with the case of Vanguard UK as they only offer funds and ETFs that trade in GBP, so there's no currency conversion going on here. Moving on to the investment range, Vanguard's investment range does remain limited because they only offer their own products. Approximately 86 funds across ETFs and mutual funds, though this does count income and accumulation funds as one, so the actual total number will be a bit higher, but even so, it's definitely not an extensive range. You won't find any individual stocks or funds from other providers at all. For many investors seeking simple long-term portfolios built around popular options like the Vanguard S&P 500 or Vanguard FTSE All World, this may not be a problem and they may be perfectly happy with this limited choice. However, those wanting a more diverse selection will find this quite limiting. One persistent drawback that I found on Vanguard is that they don't offer fractional shares for ETFs. And with the share prices of ETFs getting more and more expensive for the popular ones, this can mean that you often have annoying spare change that you can't reinvest if you're an ETF investor. Say, for example, the share price of an ETF is £100. If you receive dividends from that ETF of less than £100, you cannot reinvest them until you get more dividends or top up to get you over that full share price mark. Moving on to further features and functionality, Vanguard has finally launched a phone app addressing one of the previous major criticisms. In typical Vanguard UK fashion, the app is pretty basic, which again can be construed as either a pro or a con. You might want the simplicity, or it might just be too basic for you. It completely depends on how you see it. You can transfer in and out of Vanguard with no costs. However, they don't offer any incentives for transferring your ISA to them as at the time of recording. Looking at the Trustpilot review score, Vanguard currently holds a score of 3.8 out of 5. This score may have taken a bit of a hit recently with that fee change and a lot of people trying to transfer their ISA and SIP away from Vanguard. I've heard a lot of people saying that has been quite delayed, but I can't say I'm surprised with how many people were trying to do it all at once. The verdict here is that Vanguard may remain a solid option for mid-sized portfolios, £32,000 plus, from an established provider with a straightforward approach. However, their recent fee change does make them very unattractive for newer investors and those with smaller portfolios. If you're primarily interested in their own range of funds and value simplicity over features, then Vanguard may still be worth considering for your stocks and shares ISA, especially once your portfolio grows beyond that £32,000 mark, and then that £4 per month change will not be applicable. It's just like last year. Next up is InvestEngine, the provider that I've had my main portfolio of ETFs on since April 2023, and it has rapidly established itself as a strong contender in the stocks and shares ISA market. It has continued to evolve and expand its offerings over the past year. InvestEngine's fee structure remains super competitive for DIY investors, no platform fees, no dealing fees, and no regular investment fees. And since they only offer GBP traded ETFs, there's no foreign exchange fees that apply. You'll never have to exchange your currency at the moment on InvestEngine. This means the only cost you'll pay if you go for the DIY portfolio are the underlying ETF fees themselves. And you pay these regardless of which provider you use. This is not a platform fee, it's a fund fee. Looking at investment range, InvestEngine has substantially expanded its ETF range to over 770 options at the time of recording, up from 610 when I did this video last year. These come from major providers including iShares, Vanguard, WisdomTree, Xtrackers, JP Morgan, and many more. This extensive selection covers virtually every market, sector, and investment strategy you might want to pursue through ETFs. Whether you're looking for broad market exposure, factor investing, ESG options, or thematic ETFs, InvestEngine most likely has an option for you. Looking at features, InvestEngine offers several standout ones, namely fractional shares, allowing you to invest every pound without uninvested cash sitting idle. They have a modern phone app and web app that's super simple to use. Portfolio rebalancing, which allows you to easily maintain your target allocations with one-click rebalancing. There's also automated investing, so you can set up a savings plan to keep your investments on autopilot and not even have to log in if you don't want to. And then finally, my favorite feature, the portfolio analytics. This excellent breakdown shows your geographic exposure, sector allocation, and even what percentage of your portfolio is indirectly invested in specific companies through your ETFs. My verdict here is InvestEngine presents a compelling option with its zero fee structure for DIY investors large and growing ETF selection, and robust feature set. The platform combines cost efficiency with modern functionality, making it worth considering for ETF-focused investors. The next stocks and shares ISA provider I'll be reviewing is Trading 212. Regular viewers will know that I've been using Trading 212 along with InvestEngine since before I started making content. Trading 212 continues to offer a highly competitive service and remain one of the disruptors in the UK stocks and shares ISA market. It has an extremely simple and cost-effective fee structure. There's no platform fees, no dealing fees, no regular buy fees, and there are only really two fees to be aware of. There's a 0.15% FX fee, which is one of the lowest, if not the lowest, among stocks and shares ISA providers, and this only applies when buying and selling stocks that are listed in a different currency. And there's also a 0.7% charge on deposits via card, Google Pay or Apple Pay after £2,000. However, this second fee here can, in my opinion, be completely ignored because top-ups via bank transfer incur no fees. So I personally would never use my card or Google Pay to top up my account. I'd always use bank transfer. Overall, alongside InvestEngine, Trading 212 remains one of the cheapest providers in the UK. And as I've emphasized, keeping fees low is super important because fees compound too. In terms of investment range, Trading 212 offers an extensive investment range with over 13,000 global stocks and ETFs. Some of these will be ineligible for the ISA, but the majority of them will be, and you really are spoiled for choice here. The only thing you won't find is mutual funds. Trading 212 does not offer mutual funds. Trading 212 also has the advantage that it offers fractional shares. This is great because there are some individual companies with share prices in the hundreds or thousands of dollars, so with fractional shares, this allows any investor to get a piece of them if they wanted to. Trading 212 continues to offer a range of great features, and one of my favorite improvements from last year is that the main return chart now shows total return, including dividends, interest, other sources of return, and it also uses the money-weighted rate of return as the percentage rather than just simple return. This is much better for long-term retail investors, in my opinion. One of Trading 212's most popular features is their pie system. You can build your own pie with stocks and ETFs selected. You can then set custom weightings for each holding and design the pie as you see fit. There's also the option to choose from ready-made pies with no additional fees if you want to, beyond the ETF fees within the pie, of course. Community-made pies are also quite popular, but a quick disclaimer, any user can create and share a pie. Just because their pie is popular does not mean they know what they're doing or that you should copy it. So always do your own research. Don't just blindly copy anything on the community. Trading 212 has both web app and a mobile app, and they're consistently designed across them. So once you know how to use the phone app, the web app is pretty much the same thing. So it is pretty beginner friendly. At the time of recording, Trading 212 offers 4.6% annual equivalent rate on cash in your stocks and shares ISA. Remember, this can be subject to change, mainly based on Bank of England base rate changes. And also, if you enable interest on cash in the stocks ISA, this may mean that your cash is held in qualifying money market funds and banks. Whilst qualifying money market funds are generally considered very low risk investments, they are still investments, and I recommend reading the terms and conditions to ensure that you're comfortable with that. Trading 212 now also fully supports ISA portfolio transfers, allowing you to move existing ISAs from other providers. And then looking at that Trustpilot review rating, Trading 212 currently has a rating of 4.6 out of 5. So it does show strong customer satisfaction overall. In terms of bonuses, you can get yourself a free fractional share worth up to £100 by signing up through the link in my description. Or if watching on TV, you can scan the QR code on screen now. Alternatively, you can just open your account normally, and within 10 days of opening your account, go to the menu page, use promo code section, type in Tom, and if you apply that code, that'll give you your fractional share. To sum up, Trading 212 offers low fees, a vast investment range of global stocks and ETFs, fractional shares, a lot of additional features, and usually competitive interest rates on cash. I'd say it's particularly attractive to those who want to hold both individual stocks and ETFs in one ISA because it does offer both and an extensive range of both at that. However, I do also like to put forward the other argument, and that is that these individual stocks could represent a distraction, and having all these thousands of stocks to choose from may actually be a bad thing rather than a good thing for some investors. Okay, the last provider I'm going to go through in detail here is Lightyear. Lightyear only launched their stocks and shares ISA in January 2025, which does make them one of the newest entrants on the stocks and shares ISA scene. Looking at their fees for the stocks and shares ISA, they are very competitive in this space. No account fees or platform fees, no dealing fees for ETFs, so just the underlying fund fees that apply. And again, ETF fund fees apply regardless of which platform you use. And of course, also consider if you're buying an ETF in a different currency like euros or dollars, then an FX fee may apply. The dealing fee for US stocks is 0.1% per trade, up to a maximum of $1 or a minimum of 10 cents. UK stocks, it's £1 per trade, and EU stocks, €1 per trade. And then the FX fee is 0.35%, so this will apply if you're buying or selling stocks listed in those different currencies other than GBP. So overall, Lightyear allows you to hold ETFs very cost effectively, as you only pay the underlying ETF costs without additional platform charges. And the fees for individual stocks, whilst not the cheapest, are still quite cheap, and they are very competitive when compared to some of the more established providers on the ISA market, as you will see if you use my platform comparison spreadsheet. Looking at investment range, Lightyear offers over 200 ETFs and 4,000 plus individual stocks from global markets, so you do have plenty to choose from, and they are constantly expanding this range. When looking at ETFs, they also make it super easy to see at a glance what currency the ETF trades in. I find it great that they've made this so easy to see so investors don't get stung by any unnecessary foreign exchange fees. It's really clear to see what currency you're buying or selling a stock or ETF in. Moving on to features and functionality, Lightyear does offer fractional shares for US stocks, allowing you to invest those small amounts into US companies. Fractional investing for European stocks and ETFs should be coming very soon, so I'll be keeping an eye on that, and by the time you're watching this video, it may be out, so double check. When trying out Lightyear for the first time, my favorite part was actually the user interface on both the phone app and the web app. It's super simple, slick, and modern. I do think it does have the most aesthetically pleasing design out of any app that I've used. It's overall a very cool experience. The platform also offers stock and fund screeners to help you identify investments and narrow down your research. For example, I can search by market cap, sector, country, and many more filters. Another exciting feature is Lightyear Vaults. On the day of recording, you can earn up to 4.61% annual equivalent rate on your funds. This feature does use money market funds to deliver returns close to the Bank of England's variable overnight interest rate, which is calculated daily. It is important to note that the keyword here is variable. The rate is likely to change if the Bank of England adjusts their base rate. So it's worth keeping an eye on. It is the case with most platforms. If the Bank of England base rate changes, then it is most likely going to change on your platform as well. So just keep an eye on it. Also, again, as I mentioned with trading 212, while money market funds are considered low risk investments, they are still investment products, and it is not the same as holding cash simply in a bank. In terms of transfers, Lightyear supports them, but I believe currently only cash transfers are available, not in specie transfers where you can transfer the actual investments directly. This may be coming soon though, so keep a look out. Okay, turning to reviews, Lightyear currently has a strong Trustpilot score of 4.7 out of 5. So again, a high degree of customer satisfaction here, which is always great to see. If you like the look of Lightyear, as a viewer of my channel, you can get $10 worth of a US fractional share deposited into your general investment account when you deposit at least £50. You can access this offer by using my promotional code TOM during the sign-up process, or by entering it into the settings and account area of the app. Remember, when investing, your capital is at risk and the value of your investments can go down as well as up. My verdict here is that Lightyear represents an exciting new option in the UK stocks and shares ISA market with competitive fees, a beautifully designed app, and great features like vaults for earning interest. The platform combines a decent selection of investment options with a modern user experience, making it definitely a noteworthy contender among established ISA providers. And it is great to see another low-fee platform entering the space and stimulating further competition. So that was a run-through of 4 stocks and shares ISAs that I believe are among the most competitive or had significant changes this year. But there are, of course, many more options available. Because of that, I now want to show you how you can use my spreadsheet to find the right stocks and shares ISA provider for you, for your specific needs. You may be thinking, why have I not given a detailed run through of other popular providers such as Hargreaves Lansdown or Interactive Investor? And that's partly because I didn't want to make the video too long, but also because the spreadsheet allows you to do all these comparisons all in one place. I just want to give you an overview of some that I think are the most exciting at the moment. Rather than listening to me go through every last detail for every provider, this spreadsheet helps you conduct your research yourself in your own time very easily. On the main Stocks and Shares ISA tab, you'll find all the information for a range of popular providers. It tells you everything from fees and what investments they offer, to features, Trustpilot review scores, my comments. What I particularly want to highlight is the example annual cost tab, as this does help you visualize how significant the fee differences can be. Keep in mind this is for portfolios of ETFs or individual stocks. Some providers have different fee structures for holding mutual funds. So to keep this comparison fair, I'm comparing platform fees for holding ETFs. I hope this shows generally how different platform fees can be and how the newer modern players are significantly undercutting the established players on the market. A key thing to keep in mind, though, is that these highlighted fees are just the platform fees. You need to consider all other fees you'll pay when using the account and making investments. For example, some platforms may have lower platform fees, but they may charge for each trade a significant dealing fee or a significant foreign exchange fee if dealing stocks listed in foreign currencies. And these smaller fees can definitely add up if you're an active investor. Platforms like InvestEngine, Trading 212, and Vanguard don't have those additional dealing fees, so you're free to change your portfolio without worrying about the cost stacking up. Some platforms may offer a discount when using direct debit or regular buy rather than just dealing at any time. Maybe worth looking into setting up this regular buy direct debit to lower your fees on that platform if it is applicable to you. I really hope this spreadsheet makes it super easy for you to make a more informed choice. Like I say every year, we are spoiled for choice, but this year more than ever, there's constantly new providers becoming more competitive, more options to choose from. So with all these choices, just make sure you do your research and pick a platform that is suitable for you. Remember to consider factors beyond just fees. Does the investment range meet your needs? What is the user interface like and ease of use? What's the customer service quality like? Are there any additional features that are important to you? And do they offer interest on uninvested cash, and what are those rates like? The comparison sheet available in the description provides detailed information on these factors and much more. Remember that the right provider for you and for someone else is unlikely to be the same, so do your research, use all the resources, and then at the end, you can make an informed decision. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and if any provider is catching your eye this tax year. And as always, thank you for watching.